Hi, I'm Bear from Bear and Rue's Cycling Adventures. Rue's behind the camera as normal. Today I'd like to talk about my Vivente World Randonneur, the Patagonia model. This is my particular bicycle. I've had this now for a couple of months, and I really like this bicycle. And when I was looking for bikes, I'm a YouTube addict. I go on YouTube and look at all the different reviews, and I couldn't find one on this particular bicycle, and it's really deserves one, so people like me who are looking, they can look at least my opinion, give or take. I'm not obviously not a professional bike rider, but my opinion is just my opinion. But I can't say enough about this bike. I really do like it. We'll start at the front. The Patagonia model has drop bars. I really like drop bars. Gives me lots of different hand positions to when I'm riding. I have carpal tunnel in both hands, and I have some nerve damage in my left hand. So being able to move around a lot so I don't experience pain or numbness is important. And to date, I haven't had any issue with these handlebars. I've only ridden it for 2 or 3 hours most at a time. But during those rides, I haven't had any dramas. It's got TRP Hilux brakes. They're a hydraulic brake, very responsive. This is the first bike I've had with hydraulic brakes, or disc brakes for that matter. And geez, I tell you what, you hit that brake and the bike stops. So it's very assertive with the braking. I'm 100 kilos. When the bike's fully loaded, I have no idea how much it weighs, but it's a fair bit, and the brakes bring it to a quick stop. I like the Dura Ace bar end shifters. Knowles decided to use the highest quality bar end shifters, at least in my opinion, the Dura Ace ones. Very simplistic. They work. That's all I can say. For those who question them, they definitely work. I'm 6 foot tall. I've got very long legs, and I've been very aggressive in my pedaling, and I've yet to hit a bar end shifter with my knee. I've never done it, so I'm not sure how other people do it. I know that's a complaint, but at least in my riding and riding style, I've never done it. So to me, they're the cat's meow of simplicity in a touring bicycle. So that's what I prefer to go with. Now coming down through the headset here. On this bike, I've got this came with it. Again, this is an AXA. What model is this? This is the Lux 70 Plus. A very bright headlight. This is powered off the dyno hub on the front here. It's got a couple of different settings. I like the setting where it comes on whilst I'm riding. When I stop, it dims, and it stays that way for 4 or 5 minutes, and then it turns itself off. Same with the tail light, which we'll go over. Or I can turn it off completely, and there's a little port here that you can take the cover off, and there's a USB charging port, so you can charge your devices, your mobile devices, right off the hub when you're riding during the day. So I can envision using a power back, a little battery, or charging my mobile phone on a tour during the day, so that at night time I've got some power for my device. The fenders on this bike are plastic, same as on the other bike that I just reviewed. Can't say enough, they work. My only complaint with the fenders is the mud guard on the front one. Just the angle of it. I've got really big feet, size 13 shoe, and occasionally at full turn, just the tip of my shoe clips that as it's coming down. At first it was a little disconcerting, but it happens so rarely that it doesn't bother me now when it happens. But it's just something to know that perhaps someone that annoys, they'd have to take that mud guard off. I don't hit the fender, but I just clipped the mud guard with my shoe. Okay, now coming down here, I've got Tubus aftermarket front pannier racks on here. So this does not come with the bike. This is something I've added on since, or the shop did for me. I ride with front panniers when we're on tour, but today for the demo, or for this video, I don't have them on. But this did not come with the bicycle. Okay, coming to the front, It's got a Shimano hub, dyno hub in here. This works really nice. Let me see if I can get it turned so you can see the. There we go. So it's the PD8. I've never run with a dyno hub before. I was concerned that I would be able to, feel the resistance from it, but in all honesty, I can't. So when I have it turned off, there's supposed to be no resistance, and when I have it turned on, there's supposed to be some. I can't feel a difference, so I'm not too worried about it. Most of the time, I leave it on just for safety, so my lights are on. It's a nice little feature to have on the front. You can see on the other side there, that's the TRP Hilux brakes on that. And I'll tell you what, that really stops me. I'm 100 kilos. When the bike's fully loaded, I've got no idea how much she weighs, but it stops me on a dime, so I'm quite happy with that. And I guess where it really shines is when it rains. I haven't had enough guts yet to take my new bike out in the rain yet, but I'm sure that day will come, and the disc brakes are alleged to be much better than the rim brakes when it comes to the rain. Now, I mentioned this in my other video. It's not really a complaint, but it's my only concern that comes with this particular bike is that the rims are rated for the size of the tire. This is a 700 by 32 to 35, is rated at 5.5 bar, which is about roughly 75 psi if I'm doing my conversion right, whereas the tires are rated from 4.5 to 6.5 bar. Now, being a bigger fella, I normally go I look at my tire, I go right to the tire and I see what my maximum pressure is, and I normally go in there and I sort of work down. That's just been the way I work, or 65 to 95 psi. But in this particular instance, if I went to the full pressure on the tire, I'm considerably over. I'm a whole bar over what's recommended for this rim. So, not really a complaint, but just a caution that when you buy tires for this bike, or when you fill up the air or put air in the tires that come with the bike, to not exceed the rim recommendations of 5.5 bar. So that's just something to be aware of. The bicycle comes with Schrader valve, which I prefer. I really like this. The Schrader valve inner tubes can be filled up at any gas station, petrol shop, wherever you are in the world, whatever it's called. You can probably get a hose somewhere if your pump isn't working. And on this, you can always put a little adapter in there and put a Schrader inner tube if that's all you can get. A Presta inner tube inside. You can have a Schrader adapter. Whereas if you have a Schrader rim, you can't get an adapter for Schrader valves. You can only use the Presta. I probably said that all wrong, but you know what I'm talking about for those who know. All right, we'll look at the frame here quickly. It's chromoly. It's 4130 steel. It's the paint is beautiful. The welds are lovely. It's very presentable. It looks very nice. This is all size large. The bike comes with two water bottles cages, which are set appropriate. Can't say enough about the frame. It rides very smoothly. As far as the driveline goes, it comes with Sugino cranks and Sora front derailleur. I guess that's I didn't really talk to Noel why he went with Sora, but that's it's worked well for me. I've got probably close to 1,000 Ks. I don't think I've gone over it yet, but when I had my first service, I had about 500 Ks on the bike when I took it in, and so I've ridden it for a little bit since then. So I imagine that there's probably close to 1,000 Ks on it now. At any rate, looking at the pedals that came with it, it's Wellgo pedals, Nothing Flash M20 or 250s. They've been working. I've got My shoes clip in and out very easily. They were easy to adjust. No complaints there. Not much to say as far as other than that works. On the back here, I'll just take my pannier off. On the back here, it has a Dior XT rear derailleur with a let's see, I'll get over here. So this is a 9-speed back here. Dior XT hub in the back. This gives this bike 27 gears. Very smooth shifting. Haven't had to play with it much, other than the initial adjustments when the cable stretched a little bit, as it does in all new bikes. But I think the gear ratio, I probably should have looked it up before doing this video, but I'll try to put it in the comments below. The gear ratio is very nice on this bike, with the front to rear and on a low gear for climbing. It seems to work quite well for me. I guess we could always ask for a little bit lower gear and a little bit higher gear, but this ratio that's on here is quite good. Looking at the back again, the bike comes standard with a tubeless rack. These are steel, they're not aluminum, so they're very robust. I don't think they're that heavy for being steel, but they're certainly nice and robust. My Ortliebs click in and out very easily, as you saw there, and I like that the panniers actually mount at the slightly lower spot on the pannier rack, and that just lowers your center of weight a little bit, but it also lifts this up so that if you want to put something on here and you've got your panniers really stuffed, you've got that little bit of extra room to do so. Okay, coming back to the light. Excuse me. The light here is the AXA rear light, and that light again is powered by the hub in the front. Excuse me, got a frog in my throat. That light's powered by the hub in the front. It stays on for about 5 minutes after the bike is stopped. So you come up to a stoplight or somewhere else where you stop for a little bit and you have the lights running, your rear light stays on for a while. It doesn't go off the second you stop moving. So that's really nice. Fender on the back, same as the front. Plastic with a mud guard, works really well. It's got 35 millimeter tires on the back and 32 millimeters on the front. And I think I'll probably end it there. I will say that the standard seat came on it. I prefer Brooks. That's just a preference of mine. So I've got a Brooks B17 on here, but the standard seat was comfortable enough. I certainly didn't have any issues with it other than I prefer a leather seat. So I'll end it there. If you've got any questions, or if I've said something that's drastically incorrect, please feel free to put down below. Subscribe. We're not pros, we're not experts, we're not going to be throwing videos out every day, but when we do stuff, we'll post it up there and we'll show you our mistakes and we'll show you what we do right. Cheers!